Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Every Sunday Big Tech Update Show, where I update you guys on the six big tech stocks. So that would be Nvidia, Tesla, Apple, Amazon, Google, and Microsoft. So we'll be looking at the six stocks as well, and their support and resistance levels, as well as what's the most likely scenario going forward, what my forecast will be for these stocks, and what I'm currently thinking that the most likely scenario for the next move will be, and the current market sentiment. And if you guys want to check out the market update on QQQ and SPY, check the Friday video out. It's the video that says 3 signs to look for potential stock market top. So I'll put the link at the end of the video as well as in the comments, and so you can just click on it when you guys see it. All right, so let's take a look at starting with NVIDIA. So I also put the timestamps below in the comments. So if you guys want to see just your stock, just click that timestamp and it will jump over to your stock. All right, so NVIDIA on Friday was looking decent in the morning. So we're in the 15-minute time frame. So you can see on Wednesday and Thursday, I talked about this double top, where if NVIDIA breaks above it, it's very likely continuing its bull move due to us making a higher low each time we dip, meaning the low of the pivot is higher than the previous low. So you can see this low, and this low is higher than this low. This low is higher than this low, and this low is higher than this low. So it continued to make those higher lows each time it bounces, meaning the buyers, the psychology of this is that the buyers wanted to buy at a higher price each time it dips. So when we break above this double top, um, it was a good sign for the bulls in the morning. And every time here, this is a ascending triangle right here. So that is the same thing, same concept. Higher low, higher low. Each time it dips is a higher low. So the most likely scenario for ascending triangle is a bull break due to each time it dips, buyers wanted to buy even more expensive. And this was a little bit of a red flag when we broke bearish here into the end of the day. Noki did also break bearish end of the day, but Nvidia was holding up a lot better while QQ was dipping during the morning. And when it broke bear, this became weaker than QQ overall. And so that's just a initial small red flag for Nvidia due to its structure overall on the longer time frame has not been broken yet. So it's just one red day, but we just gotta be a little bit cautious. It's more of like what do you call it? The bull break lacking follow through for now. So if we get another red day on Tuesday, or potentially a sideways day on Tuesday and another red day on Wednesday, right? Then it will start to shape up a structural change on the daily time frame. So let's zoom out to check out the hourly time frame. So hourly time frame is still in a neutral trend for me, but we did break below this pivot. But this pre-market pivot is not as important for me as the market hour pivots. So for me, we need to break this low without the 425 low for me for us to form a structural change in back to a neutral trend. So the first thing I want to see is Nvidia forming a hourly time frame downtrend, meaning the next candle when it bounces, let's say on Tuesday, we get a 1 hourly candle here, and the next candle is above the prior candle, right? So that was set as our hourly lower high, meaning this high is lower than the prior high. And then for it to form a hourly downtrend, we wanted to see break its prior low. So it looked like that, like a trend change. That will be an hourly downtrend confirmed. Here, a move up. Now this pivot is below the prior candle, and now this is hourly uptrend continuing. It's been in a time. So let me see when's the last time Nvidia had an hourly downtrend. Let's see. This is one move. This would have been an hourly downtrend right here. as well. So that's what we want to see, a very first hourly downtrend confirming. When that happens, we zoom out to the daily time frame. And now the structure that I'm talking about is the bull flag. So we had a bull flag confirm right here, breaking out of this falling wedge, bull flag confirm right there. So if we do break back below this flag high, which is for 19.38, then that's a bull flag confirm lacking follow through. So that would take us to, let's see how many percent that is. That's only 1.7% away. So if we get another drop on Tuesday or Wednesday, then back into the flag, and that's a red flag for me. So that would look like this is a weekly chart. So this is a weekly bull flag confirming. So this is the flag. This is, sorry, that's a pull. That's the pull. This is the flag, and this is a weekly bull flag confirming bull break. And so if we, let's say we come back into it next week, then that's a little bit of a red flag for me, starting to shape up into structural changes in Nvidia. And potentially could mark the top due to a bull break, and there's just no more buyers up there anymore. Essentially, that's the psychology of a bull break lacking follow through. It just means bulls use up their fuels to break above the resistance, and then there's just no more buyers really want to buy at that price anymore. It's just too expensive for them. So we just fade back into the prior area. So if we do fade back into prior area to this flag high, pole high, sorry, the pole's high, then it's starting to look like a red flag for me. But of course, we still need to form that daily downtrend as well before anything shapes up. Yeah, the first thing you guys will be looking at as a bull is if the hourly uptrend will continue. And if you're a bear, you want to see the hourly downtrend forming. So as of now, it's still full bull control on every time frame. But so yeah, we'll have to see if we'll see some more weakness into next week. All right, let's take a look at Tesla. So Tesla, I was talking about on Tuesday, where it's one, you had a one relative weak day, and then we bounced off of it on bulls bought the dip. It was the very first hourly oversold on the RSI since this big run, and it just bulls bought all the dip, and now we filled the gap. So now we're looking at the 4-hour EMA 12-star guide. Even though we broke below it, we came right back above it on the next candle. So it's still a valid support for me. So that's a 12 EMA. You just type indicator, type exponential moving average, and then type 12. You'll get this tail looking line. You can see we've been bouncing off of it for a lot of times. Here, 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 and I count this as well because it's a bounce off of it right in the next candle. If we had like a candle broke below it, the next one we close it below it, we chop around here, then we came back above it, then it's different. And let's say we came right back above it, and you can see we retested again here, and we bounce off of it. So it's in a sell zone now, but as long as the bulls continue with on the uptrend on every time frame, then you just gotta believe them. Like I know it's like it just feels like it's overbought. Like it just been running so much, and you just want to short it. But that's like the last thing you want to do going against a bull train, because we don't want to, this irrational emotion can stay irrational, and this can continue. But it is overbought for sure. But so we'll see if the bulls will slow down now after we fill that gap. You can see the right there. We ended up filling this gap and sold back off into it. But of course, QQQ was weak as well at the end of the day. So you can see Tesla held actually better than QQQ due to QQQ sold off close to its end of its low of its day. So QQQ closed below low of its morning, while Tesla held above the morning. This is also a ascending looking triangle. So if you're a short-term trader, you can see right here, it's even just on today, on Friday, it's ascending triangle. But if you look back into Thursday, it's a bigger ascending triangle. So that'll be your guide if you're a very short-term scalper. And you can see right there, it's bouncing off perfectly. So as long as this breaks bull above this double top of that gap fill when we open on Tuesday, then that would be a likely continuation of the bull move. If we break that, not a lot of red flags yet until we form the hourly downtrend for me. Let's say we break below that, then we form the hourly downtrend, then that was starting to look like a potential top where the Tesla wants it to go sideways a little bit more to cool things off, pull back a little bit. And the next level of support I'll be looking at would be that 12 EMA as well, again, for the 4-hour time frame. So now, still looks good for the bulls. Up daily, weekly, monthly are all in a uptrend. So before any of the structural changes, we don't want to fight against the trend. Unless you can say, you want to have a plan where you said, okay, I'm going to short right here just one time at this gap fill, right? And put a tight stop loss over it. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. I get stopped out for a little bit, then I'm wrong. But if I'm right, maybe I nail the top, right? But you don't want to keep trying. So let's say you did it down here. You're like, all right, I'm going to short right here because of this top, right? You get stopped out and that's it, right? You don't want to just, I'm going to try again right here. I'm going to try again right here. I'm going to try again right here. You just keep on getting stopped out over and over. Of course, now we are super extended. You can, give it a shot if that's what you feel like doing, but always have that tight stop loss set so you don't get run over. All right, let's take a look at Apple. Apple is at all-time highs. It's talked about it last week on Tuesday, saying we're likely going to test all-time highs, and if we break that prior all-time high, we're going higher. So what are we looking at now? Also, not a lot of red flags. It's normal for pullbacks like this, just one day. So we need to see also more structural changes. We did come back into this pivot, but we bounced off of it. So you can see it closed right on it. See that bottom wick of the candle, so closing right on it. So there's not a lot of price action for us to break down due to it being all-time highs. So we just have to zoom into this structure. See if there's more to look at. I'm on 2-day time frame, so the 2-day EMA 12 is going to be continue our support. We've been talking about this support for the past couple months. You can see it's bouncing exactly off that 12 EMA. 12 EMA is not always going to be the support. You just got to look at its prior action, what it's been doing for its characteristic. You can see it's bounce, 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 bounce. Did it even test it over here? Now we're a little bit extended from it, so this could potentially pull back while this thing catches up in the next couple of days. If we bounce back up it again, then there's zero red flags from the bulls due to Apple being in an uptrend in every single time frame on daily, weekly, monthly, even in the shorter time frames, 4 hours and hourly as well. So first thing I want to see the Apple also do for the bears is an hourly downtrend. For the bulls, you have nothing to worry about. This is just every single thing is still in the uptrend, just like Tesla and QQQ. Even QQQ is in the uptrend as well. For I think QQQ forming hourly. No, not yet. QQQ hasn't formed an hourly downtrend yet as well. Check that video out on Friday for the market breakdown if you guys want to take a look at QQQ and SPY. And let me see. So Apple, big move here. Actually, we are in hourly downtrend for Apple. Yeah, just noticed that. So now we zoom out to the 4 hours. As long as 4 hour holds, everything's okay for Apple. So we have the hourly downtrend confirm, a small one there. So the 4 hour is still holding the support for 12 EMA. So it's still good to go. But what I want to see is us actually holding this prior high. So if we do come back down to it, then we are starting to shape up a little bit of a red flag. But as of now, still no red flags for the bulls. And for the bears, I just wouldn't short the stock. I just find something easier to short. Like this guy is like the biggest guy in the playground, so find someone else to short than Apple. But yeah, because this is just a stock that people would accumulate in their long-term portfolio, and they don't look at it and they just hold it forever, right? So that's why there's just less selling than usually than more buyers in this kind of stuff. So it's hard to short. You can see there's barely any red candles on the daily. It just when it consolidates and it for the next move up. Amazon, a little bit more of a red flag compared to compared to Apple. We have been chopping around this range for a while. Let's see, and we just can't get over this to 127. You can see every time we get it back above it, we come back below it. Even when we opened above it, gapped up, went straight below it here. But it's still holding the support right there. You can see it used to act as resistance at this 125.6 range. Resistance, 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 resistance. Now we're above it. So it's going to act as support. You can see even when we came back down to it, we bounced off of there, came back down to it, bounced off of here. See that bottom wick? Even this one too, over there. So now we just came back right there and closed at the end of the day. So we didn't have enough time. You can see if we zoom into the 15 minutes, that was the last candle of the day. We did bounce off of it in the morning. See, same place, bounce off of it. At the end of the day, that we got back there again. It's not enough time for the market to see if we broke it or not. So we have to see on Tuesday if we end up breaking that level or not. So yeah, that's the key level I'm looking at. So if we do break that below that, then I'm looking at that 12 EMA and this whole cluster of volume, which is the low of this cluster to be break. So if we break, I want to see that break for the bears. For the bulls, you obviously want to come back, bounce again above it, and try to retest this cluster of resistance high again. If we do get back above that, then I'm looking at 129. See, Google is the weakest of all the big techs. It's still in that chop zone that's been trading. Apple, Microsoft is trading up here. Amazon is roughly trading up here. Google, see after that drop, we're still in that drop. So if this closes below this 121 zone right there, we are in a daily downtrend. So this will be the very first big tech stock to form that daily downtrend. And so this is the big move. This is the bounce, that pivot high, setting that lower high. So if that breaks, daily downtrend confirmed. So if Google starts to form a daily downtrend, all right, we got to watch the other tech stocks starting to follow. The first one that's going to follow it will be Amazon due to its structure weaker than Apple and Microsoft. So I have to keep a high watch on that. If that happens, QQQ is going to drop more. So, and for the bulls, obviously we want to kind of bounce back above here, break above this prior resistance zone right here, this 126 and 125 zone right there. Bears want to see us break below this 121, form that daily downtrend. So that'll be our guide. And Microsoft. So Microsoft is obviously made its close to all-time highs. Pretty much broke all-time highs and came back to it. So that's interesting. It only dropped 1.6%, but the move from its top to bottom is 2.6%. So that's a little bit notable. Obviously, it's bulls didn't want to see us just breaking all-time highs, then came back below it. But still zero red flags for Microsoft. I mean, after all, it just made its all-time high, dropped 2.5%, right? Consolidation is healthy. And we are in a same thing. I want to see an hourly downtrend confirmed for Microsoft. This is only one move, one drop, because you can see these two candles didn't make above the prior candle, so that's not a pivot. So this is the one drop. So next time it bounces, can the bears take over for that hourly higher low to form the hourly downtrend, right? That's a key thing for me. Last time Microsoft had an hourly downtrend was nowhere really found. Let me see here. There's one. Yeah, there's one here. And there's this one didn't count. It's only one move. So that's the very first thing I'll be looking at. Can the bears confirm that? And if we do confirm an early downtrend, then I'm looking back down to this cluster of zone to be acting as support. It was acting as resistance prior, so that 338 over here will be acting as support once we come back to here. See if we bounce. If we don't, then we're coming back down to 335, which is a lot stronger support than this 338 over here. And bulls, I mean, resistance, just all-time highs. This is the only resistance. All right, that's all I got for you guys. And feel free to check out all the videos before. You'll see that in the very end. And I will see you guys on Tuesday for market updates. And have a great rest of you guys weekend. If you feel free to subscribe, you guys made it this far, share, like, or comments. And I will see you guys on Tuesday.